What's up, guys? Welcome back to episode 35 of Rip City Rundown. We are back in our normal locations for this episode after that one podcast of us all together. Got Cody and West with me as always. West, how you feeling? We're coming off a win, so that was kind of fun.
Yeah, I think today is the most exciting day I've been a Blazer fan the past 2-3 weeks. Last night was probably the most fun game I watched in the past 2 to 3 weeks. So I'm in good spirits. Some news that came out today that definitely, has me thinking about the long-term future or the season about the Blazers. We'll definitely get into that later. But yeah, I'm doing pretty good. Simons with a great game last night. I mean, everyone played well last night. And when the Blazers play well, I'm happy. So yeah, I'm good.
Cody?
Yeah, definitely amazing to start 2022 off with a W after that
Undefeated in 2022.
abysmal December month where we had only 2 wins. But yeah, it was a fun game nevertheless. Even with Trae Young scoring 56, kind of fun to watch him hit those threes. And
Let's just hop into that game. We'll start that with that first. It was the only
right.
in recently. So, tell me the stats, Cody. We'll quickly run through that game, and then we'll get to the more broad topics of the video.
All right, so we got a W, 136 to 131. Very high scoring game. Very high scoring game. Obviously, Simon's career high, 43 points, 9 for 16 on 3. This man had 9 threes. That was only in the first 3 quarters. I was thinking for a moment that he could have broken that record. It was just a thought, though. But anyway, Powell with an amazing game, 26 points. Little, 22 points. Nurkic, 21 points. 4 out of 5 starters, 20 points or more, which is amazing. And then on the Hawks, obviously, Trae Young, career high, 56 points. That was ridiculous. A lot of garbage time threes, though, but still, and very impressive. And then that's about it. So, yeah, let's get into that game.
Initially, I will say, didn't watch the first half, but went back and watched a lot of it. Wes, you're the same way. We were somewhere else. But we went back and watched it. We know what's going on. I've read a bunch about the game. But Anthony Simons, I mean, he was just cooking. I mean, I saw he had 2 early threes in the game, and they didn't hit anything but the bottom of the net. So you kind of knew it was that type of night for him where he was going to be more of a scorer, and didn't think he was going to get 43. But he gets 43. It was kind of Simons was guarding Trae, and Trae was cooking, and Trae was guarding Simons, and Simons was cooking. So it was absolutely no defense, which is what made it actually really fun to watch, because you don't really even want to root for wins at this point. We'll get into that more, but just having no defense and just scoring all around was pretty awesome to watch.
Yeah, it was fun to watch. Bunch of offense. This is from StatMuse's Twitter. It says Anthony Simons tonight was the youngest Blazer with a 40-point game in franchise history at 22 years old. Youngest Blazer ever. So that was obviously history making. As you mentioned, Cody, we ended up going 9 of 16 from 3, but he had 9 in the third, so that was a chance. And then Trae Young, 56-14, obviously, and he joins Oscar Robertson, Michael Jordan, Tony Parker, Westbrook, and James Harden as the only players ever with a 55-point, 10-assist game. And I'm not sure if the stat's correct, but he scored or assisted on somewhere in the 80s on points, and that's one of the most.
It was I don't know what it was all time, but it was most ever in a loss.
Okay, well, I don't know if it's anywhere near all times because Wilt, but still, very impressive game from Trae Young. Honestly, Trae Young did his Damian Lillard, because Damian Lillard usually has put up those stat lines and losses a lot. So it was kind of cool to see us being the team that plays team basketball and winning, and the star going off and losing. I don't know. It was a fun game. Also, I don't know if y'all mentioned this, but Anthony Simons' grandfather passed away last night. He was talking about that in the post-game interview. So he kind of dedicated his performance to his grandfather. So that was also a cool side story. Rest in peace to his grandfather, and hope Simon's doing good there. But yeah, career night for him, and hopefully he keep it rolling. Because should we talk about Dame?
We will in 1 second. I'm going to ask Cody about this, because I did drop a video a week or 2 ago about Yusuf Nurkic, and I was very adamant on trading Nurkic. I'm not saying I still like that. So were you. But he has 21 points, 12 rebounds, 5 assists. He was kind of the closer down the stretch. He had a big and one to practically seal the game. Numerous buckets near the end. He did give up 22 points to Capella on 10 of 10 shooting. But Nurkic, I got to say, it was a pretty good game for Nurkic. Did you like what you saw from Nurkic, Cody? You kind of like Nurkic. I mean, we all do, but more than us.
Yes, yes, I did a lot. I mean, especially given that we didn't have a center in the second half of December. I mean, you saw what no Nurkic does to us when we play against like the Mavericks, Porzingis, Boban, and then just teams like that. A Gobert, that Jazz game, we'll get into that. But yeah, without Nurkic down there, I mean, we're just gonna lose. And I love what I saw from him last night. He's sometimes sloppy, but he has his good games. He has bad games overall, though. Really helps us. And without him, we are a lottery team. If we're not already a lottery team.
Yeah, I was like, we might already be.
Let me add one thing to that. I think we mentioned this. CJ is like when our team has no Nurk or no CJ, we are considerably worse. That is because we don't have it's basically saying we just release Nurk. Like, yes, we need Nurk, but we also would be just as good with the person we traded him for. So yes, when Nurk is out in safety protocols, we do not have another Nurk on the team. But there are plenty of Nurks in the league, is what I'm trying to say. Like if we traded Nurk for Jared Allen, we would be a better team, in my opinion. So I guess what I'm saying is yes, Nurk is very valuable to our team just because of the way we play, but I think there are many people who could fill that role.
For sure. The one thing that most about him is literally this every play. Looking at the ref, looking for a foul, even if it's not a foul. And even if it is, just sometimes just suck it up and just get back on defense. And
I think sometimes first off, we'll call it 290 and he's 7 feet. And he kind of he doesn't really dunk the ball. He tries to these all sick moves around the rim. He kind of plays like a guard and that's kind of way, finishing at the rim like a guard. And he's trying to do the Powell, draw, swing through and it's you're 7 feet, dude. They're not going to respect you and give you that call. You have to use your size and power Capella and just back him down. So I think Nurk needs to be a little more aggressive, which maybe that's just not the way he plays. But when Nurk is aggressive and when he's seeking contact and not avoiding contact, he's a way better player, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Other than that, at this point, we're just going to go ahead and just move on, but kind of still talk about this game a little bit. We're just going to talk about tanking in general because that's been a huge topic among the Blazers recently. At this point in the season, you might say it's too early to tank, but at the same time, when you're already down and then you get news like this that I'm about to say, makes you think that tanking might be the best option. Obviously, Dame was out with the ab injury, just that's been lingering for the past couple of years, and he's going to be out again tomorrow. And Chauncey was asked about it, and he said that there has been talk about shutting Dame down. This is from Sean Hyken, so very trusted source. It says there's been talks about shutting Damian Lillard down for an extended period of time since the ab injury is not improving. He said they're going to have a meeting soon, putting all heads together, which is presumably Dame, Cronin, and Chauncey, and they're going to talk all of it through. And he said in a quote, I think there's probably going to be the route that we go. That's probably going to be the route we go if he doesn't get some kind of relief there. So that's what Dame. He also said about CJ, because a lot of people are wondering about CJ. He said, CJ's been progressing very well, doing more and more on the court, pushing his conditioning. I'm feeling good about where CJ is, even though I don't know when he'll be back. So that makes it sound like it's a little while until CJ's back. But it might be because we're tanking. Take it away, West.
Yeah. I say for the future of the franchise, I would rather get a top 10 pick than get bounced in the first round. I think because we're going to have to pay – if we want to keep our team, we have to pay Nasir Little soon. We're going to have to pay Simons, especially if Dame is sitting. Simon's going to put up some stats. So I think you need to draft someone who's equal to their caliber on a rookie deal. Look at all the sports teams, anywhere, they win with great players on rookie deals, like Devin Booker before he got his extension. Well, maybe he got it, but after. But these young guys, Ja Morant, the Grizzlies are playing well. Ja's still a young player in the league. Mm-hmm. Has Ja got his extension yet?
No.
Yeah, so they're able to overpay on other positions because they're stars, youngs. Half of our cap is tied up to Dame. So I say tank. It pains me to say. I think most people would say tank. I mean, obviously I'm going to root for us to win every game.
Yeah, that's how I am.
I'm just not going to get mad if we lose.
Yeah, I mean, we have we've been fans since 2010 or whatever, and we've always been in the middle of the pack. And so like as a Blazer fan, I don't know like the recipe for like when a team should tank or shouldn't tank. I mean, I partly know, but and like if we can make it into the plan, I mean, what's the last seed that can get in the plan? 10 seed?
10, yeah.
So like, yes, the 1 seed versus the 10 seed. Obviously, the 1 seed has a better chance to win the championship. Even though a 10 seed has never won the championship before, it's like you always have a chance. It's like if you can sneak into that plan, at the end of the day, you're gonna have to be the best team no matter what. So I know it sounds stupid to say like we can still win it for a 10 seed, but my point is like if we can sneak into the playoffs and still get a good pick, be happy with that.
Yeah. I think we could and again, for some reason I always compare us to this team, but I don't think it'd be bad to do what the Warriors did the past couple of years. I mean, look, obviously at like our base talent level, that they're way better than us just because of their backcourt versus our backcourt. And Steph and Clay will always be better than Dame and CJ. It's just how it is. But the Warriors were trash. They got the number 2 pick, and then they made the plan last year, lost, and now they're back. Like I don't know. Like what good does it do to just get the 8 seed and just have Dame get mad again at another first round exit? Whereas instead you shut him down. He's been dealing with this injury since 2017 or 2018. I don't remember the exact year. And obviously we know Dame's a very hard worker in the offseason. He'll come back probably better than ever. He can have a career in a year next year. And we don't even have to like getting that pick. You don't even have to draft that pick. You can use it in a trade. It's just actual assets that other teams want. I'm sorry. No one wants Ben McLemore in a trade. You're not going to get a good player for Ben McLemore. We have no assets.
No, I get that. I'm looking up the Blazers contract situation right now because if like it would just be a throwaway year and it's like this year doesn't even matter anymore, obviously, if you start tanking. But I know that would mean Nurk is off next year. We would either re-sign him or you might trade him at the deadline as an expiring deal. But it looks like the people under contract, not a lot of people are under contract. Wow.
Well,
Dame, CJ, Norm, Nance, and then Nasir has a team option, I think, and then Greg Brown. Other than that, everyone else is gone.
So
is done. Nurkic, Simons, we still have to pay this offseason, and he could be. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets at least high teens or maybe even 20 million because he's a bucket getter at this point, and he will be showing off even more if we do tank.
That's the point I want to make is like if you theoretically shut Dame down, the ball will have to move more. Obviously, we saw that last night. It was actually, it wasn't horrible to watch, at least when you're making shots, obviously. But you can sit Dame for the year, still try to go in games and have Simons boost his value, CJ boost his value if he comes back, Nurk boost his value. In my opinion, I think Nurk – I don't know because Nurk is so important to the team. I think Nurk has the talent. We saw it before his injury. It's just our defensive scheme really does not help him out. But getting all these young guys a lot of playing time and like Trenton Watford, he could start playing well and garbage time. And you don't even have to – you can re-sign them, but at least boost their value a little bit so other teams
Question. If we just sit Dame and then CJ comes back, like, say, within the next month or something, do you really think that – like, I feel like that team could still make a 10 seed, make a plan without Dame.
Yeah. Well, okay. I think it could because at this point, I think Dame alone would make this team better and CJ alone would make this team better. But when they play together and Norm on the court, it just doesn't work. When they're together, it doesn't work because Norm is here.
Okay.
You can't play 3 guards. Can't do it.
I don't think we're a championship team at all.
No.
Fully healthy. But
no, absolutely not.
I don't think, like, the more I think about it, like, we haven't really played this whole, and I don't think it might not even be possible. We haven't played this season fully healthy. I'm not saying that would make us a championship team, but first half of the year, we're still over 500, like 3 games over 500, but Dame's hurt the whole time. Then Dame's out, and then we go on a little skid, and then CJ's out, and we go on another skid. So, I don't know. If this Dame injury seems serious, and I would rather him get healthy over him pushing through it and us getting a 6 seed, but I don't know.
Do you guys think there's a certain time where you'll like know it that we are officially tanking? Because like we could be already tanking and not know about it technically.
I think if they officially shut down Dame for over a month or two, or the whole season for what?
No, there is not a single team that will ever, except for the 76ers, when they did the process, will admit that they're tanking because you still have. Even if you sit your stars, you have young players who are hungry to improve themselves in the league. So everyone's out there trying. It's not like we're just going to not try. But if you shut Dame down, definitely losing games and just bailing on the season would be a part of that process. From Dame's perspective, he probably still thinks we can win the championship. I mean, anything can happen. I mean, look at the Braves.
Yeah, that's why I think we could go on a run and reel off 6 straight wins, and you're suddenly 2 games below 500. And then what do you do? Maybe you just I don't know though, because we sat Dame for that bit and we gave him that cortisone shot, and it obviously hasn't really worked that well. So
it doesn't. It's not a permanent fix.
I know, but I would have thought it would last more than a month.
I don't know. But another thing we have to think about is if we sit Dame down, part of it is because he's actually injured. You still want to protect your future best player.
Not the most, honestly.
That's, a lot of things. It's just we're gonna look at it in terms of how it would affect the win-loss column. But I don't know. The Warriors, Curry sat out the whole year. I mean, he was hurt, but he probably could have came back at the end of the year, which I think he did, the very end of the year. But they were trash at that point.
Played 10 games. All right, I put something on Instagram, and it was just, give me your reasons why we should tank or we shouldn't. I got one response that just says, tank for Chet. So
I don't want Chet.
He just wants a straight up tank.
No way.
But I got a couple responses. First one's funny. It's obvious. He goes, not going to lie, if we don't make playoffs, we should tank. Obviously.
Yeah, that's you either tank or you go to make the playoffs. Why would you go? I want to get the 11th seed this year. No one says that.
This guy's kind of, I feel on the same page as us. This is Sierran.Weir. He says, I want us to win, but Dame should get healthy first.
Agree.
Sure. Obviously, his health is number one priority. This guy says, and this is kind of where I kind of stand a little bit. This is from Ripped Out City Official. He said, we shouldn't tank because it's a bit early in the season and we could still make the play-in possibly. I mean, I think we easily could make the play-in, but I don't think the play-in's
that's not
to have at the end of the year.
I would rather, I don't know, man. I've seen it so many times. In the past years, it's we make a run, we get in the playoffs, we get bounced, and it just pisses Dame off more.
Yeah. Right. We are 4.5 games behind the 5th seed. Just not a lot at all.
Oh, man.
I don't know. If we're going to make this so-called run and then decide not to tank, it's got to happen soon. I don't want this to just hang on until February and we still are kind of this position.
I have a question for y'all. For each of y'all? Each of y'all can answer. What do you think? What do you think's gonna happen? What's gonna happen?
I think they're gonna shut down Dame. I mean, it seems like which basically indicates they're taking.
Yeah, I don't think it's so hard. I mean, honestly, looking at the schedule, these next 3 games are big. We have a 3-game, obviously just beat Atlanta. We have a 3-game homestand, Miami, Cleveland, Sacramento. I mean, if we lose all those.
Miami's not going to have Jimmy, Bam, or Duncan Robinson. They're going to
people.
We could win another game.
Sacramento after that. And then, of course, the Brooklyn reschedule. That's a tough game, though. But, I mean, these next 3 games could mean a lot. But anyway, back to the question. It's so hard. I guess I'll agree with Cole saying that we'll tank and shut Dame down. But
I think I'll probably just mix it up. What I think is going to happen is just when you said we're only 5 games out of the 5 seed, I think
that's the Nuggets who aren't even that good.
I think Dame will push back against it and say, no, I can play. And then if we keep sucking, I could see him getting shut down a month.
Yeah. It's so hard because you don't want
to. It's not.
If you're looking at it for the team perspective for how, if you ever see Dame winning a championship in Portland, the best case scenario is we tank, but no one wants to waste a season of basketball. That's just not fun.
Yeah, I don't know. I just know Okay, obviously none of us know Dame personally, but from what I've seen of him as a player and media and what he says and what he believes in, he's not just gonna get and want to be shut down so quickly. Like he wants to play. I mean, he has competitiveness, and I think if he's fought through so many injuries. Maybe he'll be convinced that it's for the best of the team, but I don't really see him getting shut down right now, to be honest.
Yeah, it's a topic that's too hard to discuss. I have one random question that this person asked. It has nothing to do with tanking, and it's a very random player.
Okay.
But it's _Javin said, thoughts on CJ Elleby. Cody, CJ Hart. You were giving Harden comparisons at the Mavericks game, right?
I mean, CJ Elleby better than CJ McCollum. It's official. No. I mean, it's so hard. I've probably only watched probably 12 minutes of him this whole season. Maybe 20 minutes, but it seems like he can hit shots. I mean, okay, maybe it's just because he's left-handed, but maybe this is a big stretch, but he kind of has a Harden vibe, just a little bit. The way he drives, I don't know. Maybe it's just because he's left-handed, but I don't know. I see a resemblance. Also, do you guys see any resemblance in Simons and Trae Young? I don't know. Same build.
You were saying. I saw you were saying that.
Honestly,
their shot kind of looks similar. It's kind of like they're like
just very quick release.
Yeah.
Same height, kind of same hair. I don't know.
Same hair. No one matches Trae Young's hair.
Okay, that thing is different.
That's like a golf ball, or is that what it? No, whatever cats choke up.
It's the wisps off the tennis ball.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. Okay, back to the CJ Elleby question. I don't really know.
Yeah, that's a big question. You gotta answer.
I think it's the biggest topic here of the podcast. I think CJ Elleby, I don't know, he has a ceiling because he's a second-round pick, but in my opinion, I think he could find his role as a 9th or 10th man in the league, but I don't think if the Blazers want to win a championship, he'll see any minutes with a championship team.
I think he's just a classic second-round pick. That's just not that good. I mean, obviously he's insane and never mind. He's not good in the NBA standards. What about Tony Snell, though?
What about him?
He got a DNP last night. I was thinking he might get some minutes.
That's why we won. No, I'm just kidding.
He was 50, 100 last year.
For the Hawks.
Yeah, I know. He should have played his old team. I got one more question for you guys. This is from another person. He just says, who's better? And it's a question we ask all the time, Simons or Little. They both were insane last night. Everyone looks at Simons' game last night, and they forget Little. Little had 22 points, 9 rebounds, and he went 4 of 5 from 3. That's pretty insane for Nasir Little.
I mean, I feel like up front, Simons is going to look better just because he can put the ball in the hoop better than Little can. But I feel like what you don't see typically is the defensive end and just the build that Little has as that big, long player that can shoot threes, which is pretty rare. I still feel like Simons is a better player, but I feel like it's closer than what people think maybe.
It is.
It's tough because we're asking this question right after Simons had that game. I think this is tough. If he asked me who I'd rather keep on the team, it'd be Little. But I think pure talent-wise, I think Simons has more talent. But Little also plays in a bigger position of need, 3 and D. There's a lot of good guards in the league, and we have a lot of them on our team.
When Little was asked what position he plays, and I didn't even know. He's only 6'5",
He plays shooting guard.
He said he plays the 2-3. Basically, he plays he likes mixing between shooting guard and small forward. But I've never seen him play shooting guard. I mean, it's because we have.
Well, that's because we always.
He actually sometimes plays the 4.
Yeah, because we play ultra small and have Kristaps Porzingis just take us to town.
Porzingis versus Larry Nance. That was a fun night.
Oh my God! Wait. Okay, so remember we were watching. We were breaking down film, and you're getting mad at Snell and Nance.
Yeah.
That was funny.
Yeah, we break down film.
Yeah, no, we don't. We're so Dallas had 70 points in the paint, so we decided to watch what happened, and it was Larry Nance just the whole time. I feel bad for Larry Nance, dude. What?
He's the only guy that I feel like communicates.
What does he do, Cole? What does he do? What does he do?
Anytime he makes a mistake, he's kind of like Dwight Powell, honestly. Where he's just
why? Because they're both light skinned.
Very cringy.
They're both light skinned.
And they're both light skinned.
They honestly have similar games, but Powell just has a clearer role on his team, so he probably plays better.
Yeah. But yeah, Nance is in protocol now, which kind of sucks. Or, well, not technically. He got a positive test, and then a negative test followed it right after, so they think it's a false positive, but he still has to get a couple more negative tests to officially get out.
Okay, I have a question for y'all.
Hit me.
We'll just assume. I'm assuming both y'all want to keep playing, you don't want to tank right now.
No.
Yeah. What does our record have to be, or when would you want to start tanking? How bad do we have to be? Do we need to go on another 2-12 streak here?
We were a 14 seed as of 3 days ago, which is just.
I don't know if it can get much worse.
Exactly. I don't. I understand that it's tight, but
in terms of games back or games out of I'm not even going to look at how many games out of the plan we are, because I feel no matter what, we're always going to be within 3 games of the plan. But I look at actually the 6th seed, because I think if you can strive and get the 6th seed successfully, then that's a goal you should go for. And if you can get that, then you shouldn't tank.
Why would we want to go get railed by Utah?
5 seed. Same thing.
Okay, sure, but then why would you want to get railed by Golden State in the second round?
Again,
they're always a better team than us. We're not the best team.
Yeah,
we never ever are. We're never going to be.
Okay, all I'm saying, this is my argument.
We're not going to be able to pull this off like Golden State.
At this point,
they already had 3 championships before.
Okay, I understand that,
but team here.
I understand that, but there is no benefit to going. I don't want to hear all postseason experience. We've been the last 8 years.
I don't think that, but I'm just thinking sometimes it's
fun for us to watch, and
look at our numbers,
and the podcast does better.
Yes, would you guys still watch if we started tanking this year and hopefully?
Dude, once we get to March and we're we know
not many of y'all are gonna see this because I don't watch.
The best topic come March when we're just in the thick of the tanking is gonna be Tony Snell and CJ Elvey, man.
That's rough.
We're really talking.
Okay, we're definitely not. Okay, the Blazer fans are not spoiled because we get let down every year, but we've come to expect the playoffs, which is a pretty rare.
We have the longest streak in the NBA.
Yeah, which is cool. We expect to make the playoffs. We're honestly, our goal is home court every year, which is impressive. Yeah. We need to get healthy.
No, I just want to see this team.
Yeah, the thing is, if we can sneak into the playoffs and get healthy, have Nurk, have CJ, have Dame, have team, and then maybe LeBron only puts 42 on us instead of 43.
Hey, 2018, lose game 1 to the Pelicans. We're we shot so bad. There's no way we'll lose game 2, and we get swept. Then in 2020, we sneak in as an 8 seed and we beat the Lakers in game 1. And we're oh my gosh, we can actually make a run, losing 5. Then we play the Nuggets. We play the Nuggets in 2021 and we win game 1. And my dumbass was up here talking about
on record.
What?
You can go back on record to the podcast following game 1.
I said, don't be surprised if we get a sweep here and we lose in 6.
You're
I said 5. I think I said 5.
If they don't get TJ Dozier back, I don't see this as being a super long series.
That's what I said. Yeah. So my point is, at this point, I used to be yeah, if we can just sneak in, we're gonna make a run. I don't believe that anymore. I just don't.
But it's fun to watch.
Look, yes, would I rather get hyped over Dame scoring 55 in game 5 or hyped for the draft lottery? I'm going to pick the playoffs every time. Doesn't mean it's the best for the franchise.
It would be kind of fun at the draft lottery because we've never been in the draft lottery and are really existing of watching the Blazers.
Be blue,
be a big night.
The last time, I will say, the last time we had a lottery pick, the last 2 years we had a lottery pick. We drafted Dame, Myers Leonard, and CJ. There's an imposter among us.
Bro, okay. I was listening to something. They were talking about how this kind of compares to 2016 when in the playoffs everyone got hurt. But CJ and all the young people were playing in the playoffs and getting experience. And Myers was one of those people, and he was actually playing well. And do you know in 2016 or 2017, but the year after that, when Aldridge left, the Blazers marketing team was marketing our team as a big 3. Dame, CJ, and Myers. I swear.
Big three, maybe.
Find a picture.
Maybe big three in the COD lobby.
That was too bad by Myerson. Yeah, too bad.
Maybe we
That's all
bring
I got.
him back on a 10-day.
You know Portland wouldn't do that. No chance. No chance. Yeah, too bad. Too bad he had to ruin his career. I mean, not that he was having an insane career or anything, but he had a role in the NBA. So tough to see that. But yeah,
just kidding.
I mean, okay. So what if you shut Dame down? We go on a run and make the playoffs, and all our new young guys get experience, and we get bounced.
Maybe Dame can come back. I don't know how long this is.
Oh yeah, he'd come back. Oh, he'd come back for the playoffs because season is just regular season.
All right, what is best case scenario? Is best case scenario
4 seed, play Memphis in the first round, and then go on a run?
But like Dame would still be not healthy. But what if we
actually
best case scenario, we shut down Dame, we make a run without Dame, he comes back healthy, and then we make our run.
I agree, but I'm gonna take back what I just said about playing Memphis in the first round. I'm done cherry picking teams on who I want to play because we can lose to anyone.
We did it every year. We wanted the year we played OKC and made a run. OKC was the last team I wanted to play. I wanted to play Utah.
I was like, if we get the 3 seed and play the Pelicans, that's easy. And it turned out it was easy. It was just easy for them.
We were score watching last year and putting up 3 games because we wanted the Nuggets, and we got the Nuggets, and look what happened there.
Yeah,
it was. Hey, I did predict that it would be a short series, and it didn't go 7. So.
Yeah, except it wasn't the way you projected it to get.
Yeah. Instead, we saw 2 missed dumps. Oof.
Is that all we got? I mean,
I don't really have anything else. It's basically the $1 million question: do we tank? I can't believe we're talking about it because like we're a team that's made the playoffs.
That's the title of the video. I don't know what type of way, but the title is probably gonna be when should the Blazers start tanking, or should the Blazers it's gonna be should the Blazers shut down Dame and start tanking?
Maybe that'd be good.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm just glad I'm not in a decision-making position because I don't know what I would do. My suspicion is they shut him down, but I hope they don't, honestly.
If you shut down Dame, are you still like making a bunch of trades at the trade deadline and trading CJ and Nurk?
That's another very interesting point because I think you'd see one move.
You trade Nurk. You can't lose Nurk for nothing.
Yeah, it's either
or
you trade Nurk and CJ.
Or yeah, trade both, and then really tank.
No, because you need to get value back.
But like you trade him for Ben Simmons and say, Ben Simmons, no need for you to come back this year. You work on your jump shot all alone. You and Dame work on your jump shots together, and then we come back in 2020.
Scheme in here. Hey,
2023,
y'all remember?
And we're making moves.
Y'all remember that Bleacher Report video of the We Are Super Team by the Warriors?
I do. You probably don't. That's gonna be us.
That's gonna be us. We are scheming in the lab right now.
Are we though?
Hey, we kind of have a relationship
super
with
team.
Blazers doctor. Let's give him a call. Tell him to give us the phone number to Chauncey and Cronin. Let's throw in a couple calls. Let's get this team. We know what we're doing.
You forgot one thing. Forgot one thing. No one wants to live in Portland. Were you here this week? Did you see the weather?
Yeah, it was depressing.
Weather was pretty poor when I was there.
How many sunny days did we get out of that 9 days?
One.
But it snowed.
Even worse, but yeah.
Okay.
Basically, we got to win. Next 3 games: Miami, Cleveland, Sacramento. We could go 3 for 3, but we could go for.
If this was me earlier in the year, I'd be like, Miami without anybody, easy win. Cleveland, easy win, but it's probably gonna be 0-3. Actually, 1-2.
But we can hope for 3 now. So
we're gonna win tomorrow. Today, as you guys are seeing this, I believe that. I mean, actually, never mind. Tyler Hero's going to put off like 40 on us.
Yeah.
That's all we got. Hey, merch.
We'll have those in bulk, boy.
We'll have merch in like a year from now once we got 20K subs.
Yeah,
so if you want original Blazer clothing and merchandise, subscribe to the Flippin' channel, please.
And link will be in the description next year.
They have stars on Spotify now, so if you're listening on Spotify, 5-star. It already has 1 5 stars. I don't know who it could have been.
5-star that thing. Hey, 5-star that thing, and the Blazers will 5-peat.
You want to know who gave the 5 stars?
You.
Yeah.
I would hope
that's it. That's all we got. We're right.
I would hope you give your own podcast 5 stars.
I mean, I believe it's a 5-star podcast.
Oh, it is for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
That's it.
All right.
Go Blazers.
Go Blazers. Let's get some dubs.